What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 154. And we start today's episode off with some player training before heading into the first game of today's episode, which is of course the first leg of the Champions League quarterfinals away at the Etihad Stadium in Manchester as we take on Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. Second time we faced Man City in 3 years, of course. With Rome, we faced them back in Season 1 in the round of 16 and dominated them on our way to reaching the semi-final. So Man City once again, and we can't avoid the English teams, can we, since we've left Sheffield United. It's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, taking on Man City away at the Etihad Stadium for the first leg here is Jadon Sancho, who would return to the Etihad Stadium. Super excited to see how he would get on in this game. But also a real quick disclaimer as well before we dive into the first games of this episode. Both games against Man City are post-commentaries and not live com. Now normally I would do live com for the Champions League knockout rounds and a lot of massive games in career mode. We do the live comms for them. But to be honest guys, I'm not going to beat around the bush here. I've been feeling pretty down of late. And I just didn't really feel like I had the enthusiasm to record a good commentary and make it work quite well. I always do my best, you know, when doing live comms to up the energy and up the enthusiasm and be really, you know, sort of enthusiastic, you know. But lately I just haven't really had the energy, so I do apologise for that. Just though the past couple of days really feeling a bit down, and yeah, I just didn't really feel like I could do it justice with a live com. So I thought I'd revert to the classic post-commentary format for the two legs today. But the Copa Del Rey Final will be live. I'll make sure it's live regardless, and that will of course coming out tonight. But yeah, still first leg here away in Manchester against Manchester City, and we knew heading into the game it was going to be a tough one, and just 7 minutes in, Bernardo Silva gave the hosts the lead and made it 1-0. Quick little attack from Man City. I thought we were quite unlucky as well after DCJ made the tackle on Raheem Sterling. It fell right back into the path of the Englishman there. He was on the floor initially, and as Sergio came to close him down, a quick little ball inside, and Bernardo Silva drilled it past Old Black, who got a touch on the ball but couldn't keep it out, and then what happened afterwards was just a bit... I mean, I don't know what to say about that. So many moments since patch 1.13 have broke immersion for me. That was definitely one of them. What on earth was going on there? But still, Man City won, Atletico 0, and it was indeed Bernardo Silva with the goal. With a chance to respond in the 21st minute, Mikel Oyarzabal, who has picked his form up in the second half of the season, cutting in from the left-hand side there, but denied by Edison. Fabulous stop by the Brazilian. It was still 1-0. It was a really thrilling first half as well. Loads of chances being created by both sides, and another golden one for us here in the 27th minute as Jadon Sancho bears down on goal, but just couldn't hit the target. Drills it just wide of Edison's far post and behind for a goal kick as we were still trailing by 1, and we had a really good spell of pressure as well between the 20 and 32nd minute mark. Another golden chance here. Tammy Abraham sent forward. Great stop by Edison though once again as it was still 1-0. So we played quite well in the first half. It was a decent performance from us even though we were still trailing at the break. So in the second half I felt pretty confident. As long as we stayed optimistic out there, we'd find an equalising goal that we deserved. And just past the hour mark as João Felix on the ball rolls it through to Riquelme off the bench. He steps around Diao with the step over and picks out Barry Walsh at the far post, who goes to celebrate with the visiting fans behind the goal, and that was so nice to see. Walsh has only scored 1 goal since he joined us here at Atletico Madrid. That was in the league. This is his first European goal, and I was absolutely buzzing to see him get on the end of it. 'Cause he's not had an amazing first season here at Atletico Madrid. I'll be the first to admit it, but that's a huge goal there as he rescues us a draw, which we deserved, no doubt about it, and gives us a massive away goal as well. So heading to the Etihad Stadium, I say this all the time in European knockout ties, but when you're away from home in the first leg, even if you lose the tie, you always want to leave and return home with an away goal. Away goals can just be so absolutely crucial. You've got to make sure you get at least one of them. We did there, courtesy of Barry Walsh, rescuing us a draw to take back to the Metropolitanos. That means the Man City will need to score in Spain, otherwise they are out and we are through. Still, second of 3 games in today's episode, back home and back on the weekend to take on Real Sociedad here, back in La Liga, as we continue to play catch-up with Barcelona, who, of course, as we know, are still leading the way in La Liga by 4 points, and had we not slipped up in our last league game last weekend away at Levante, we would have cut the gap to 2 points as we approach the business end of the season. That was a huge slip up there. We can't afford any more if we're to win this title. So taking on Real Sociedad, we wanted a fast and early start. start, and we got one. 9 minutes in, taking the lead. Lovely goal this too. Great little flip by João Felix into Tony. Nice through ball to Zaikankov, and that was a nice pirouette there, like a ballerina from the Ukrainian. Great little turn, nice finish. Atletico in front early, and 15 minutes in, it was all about Zaikankov in the first half. He was absolutely superb, and after a 1-2 with João Felix, he gets an assist to go along with his goal as well, with a lovely little flick to Ivan Toney. And we've had some really nice assists this season, haven't we? My favourite one, of course, is still the Sergio Mia Martinez one, but we've had a couple of more nice assists. Last episode, Jadon Sancho against Leganés. Here's Zaikankov against Real Sociedad. How nice was this? A little flick there to find Ivan Toney, who drills into the bottom corner for goal number 24 this season as he retakes the lead in the race for the Golden Boot. So Atletico 2, Real Sociedad 0. But yeah, in the first half, every single time I got the ball, I was looking for Zaikankov. And I love it when this happens. You know, squad players get a chance to start and they take that chance. He was at the heart of everything in this game. In the 45th minute, as we attack down the right, we drill across into the middle. There's João Felix, and Felix turns it in for our third goal right before half-time. So 3-0 Atletico Madrid. João Felix with the finish. Nice little storming run there by our backup right back, who I must say, whenever he plays really well. Pegs it back to João on the penalty spot, who drills it into the bottom corner and makes it 3. So Atletico 3, Real Sociedad 0. The game basically done at half-time, really. And in stoppage time, as we were closing out the game, Zaikankov had a golden chance for his second goal of the match. Should have got it as well, but the finish was absolutely atrocious. But anyway, he had a superb performance despite not bagging the brace. So final score, Atletico 3, Real Sociedad 0. Another win in the books for Atletico Madrid. This is one of those games where, you know, since I've made the adjustments to the sliders, most of the games have been quite challenging, but this was quite a straightforward win, really. An easy 3-0 victory against the side right now, sat in the bottom half of the table, and just coasted to the 3-0 victory, which is exactly what we needed as well, because after the draw away at Levante, we need to get back on track. And I'll say this right now, if we slip up any more times between now and the end of the season, we won't win the title. We've still got to beat Barcelona in a couple episodes time. We failed to do that, the title's theirs. Any more slip-ups in the games outside the Barcelona clash, and for sure we'll finish in second or perhaps even third place, with Real Madrid still breathing down our necks. Still for the third and final game of today's episode, it was time for the second leg of the Champions League quarter-final tie, as Man City would come and take us on here in Spain. Of course, after during the first leg, 1 goal each. Heading into this game, we of course didn't need to score tonight. So once again, just like in Manchester a week ago, I left Ivan Toney on the bench. 4-time Golden Boot winner, 40 goals with Sheffield United a few years ago, 39 with Roma last season, but again, Champions League quarter-final, didn't play in the first leg, or should say didn't start in the first leg, doesn't start tonight either. Once again, I kept faith with Tammy Abraham and João Felix starting together, as they're a pretty decent partnership, and I felt confident, knowing all we need to do tonight was keep a clean sheet, that we'd make it through without the Shockers' help. And the first chance fell 9 minutes in with João Felix rolling the ball out wide towards Dominguez, starting in left back in this game. And as he found Oyarzabal, a lovely turn, saw him get away from Porro, and as he drilled the ball into the centre, who was there to turn it in at the far post? Oh, come on, man. It was going to happen at some point. Jadon Sancho, of course, shows respect with the celebration after, of course, he played for Manchester City's academy before joining Borussia Dortmund at such a young age. Of course, before he played for Man City's academy, he was in the Watford academy for several years, but still shows respect regardless, despite never playing a professional football game for Manchester City, as he gives us the lead and makes it 1-0. And of course, Man City needing to score tonight, had a good chance there, good stop by Oblak, and it was still 1-0. And in the 33rd minute, a golden chance to make it 2, as Sancho puts the moves on Nicolas Saul. And oh yeah, Jadon bloody Sancho, take a bow, young man. That was absolutely glorious, and a contender for one of the best goals scored this series, no doubt about it. And I must say, you know, I do struggle to score skill goals as much as I used to in previous FIFAs gone by. For my long-term subscribers, you would know that back in the days of FIFA 13, 14, 15, I scored quite a lot of skill goals, but since the gameplay has changed, and the major changes in FIFA 16 onwards, it's a lot less arcadey now. I do struggle to score skill goals now. I'll be the first to admit it, but that was a lovely little goal there. Turned Nicolas Saul inside out and put the icing on the cake as well. And at that point, Man City capitulated. We were 2 goals up, 3-1 up on aggregate, and in the 37th minute, 3 goals after Sancho bagged his brace, he turns provider for our 3rd goal in the first half after a lovely little Atletico move, rolls the ball into Tammy Abraham, who beats the Brazilian Edison to the ball and dinks it over him and into the back of the unguarded net. 3-0 to Atletico Madrid, 2 goals in 3 minutes, and Pep Guardiola's Man City had capitulated here in Madrid. And this is why I started Tammy Abraham as well. He's our top scorer in the Champions League. That's his 5th goal in Europe as he makes it 3-0 to Atletico. And we knew for sure, even at half-time, the game was done and we were in to the semi-finals of the Champions League. City in the second half, they kind of gave up as well. Didn't really create any proper chances. That was their best one there from a free kick as we held on to the 3-0 scoreline. And that's it. 4-1 over 2 legs. We are in to the Champions League semi-finals, into the Final Four in my first year with Atletico Madrid, courtesy of a Jadon Sancho masterclass. He was absolutely superb in that game. And this is what we need from Jadon Sancho if we're to win the treble out of nowhere. Those world-class performances like we were expecting from him when we signed him in the January transfer window. But that was today's episode of Career Mode, guys. A big thank you, fortunately, if you have enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy today's episode, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. And don't forget, I will see you for the next episode very soon, which features the Champions League semi-final draw and also the Copa Del Rey Final against Valencia as we go for our first piece of silverware since joining Atletico. Have a lovely day, guys, and I'll see you for the Copa Del Rey Final and the Champions League semi-final draw very soon.